A group of people, okay, were asked if they had run a red light in the last year. The number of people that responded yes, that means they ran a red light, were 326. And the people that said no, they did not run a red light were 492. Find the probability that if a person is chosen at random from these people that were asked, then he or she has run a red light in the last year, and find your answer to 2 decimal places. Well, don't jump too quickly to like just writing down the answer here. What we need to do is we need to use the formula. If we have an event E, the event E is the person read around, we choose probability if a person is chosen at random, they run a red light. So the a person is chosen at random and they from the people asked, right? So they are obviously doing a study. They said a group of people were asked if they had run a red light or not. So from the people asked. A person is chosen at random from the people asked, and they ran a red light. Or a person who is chosen at random from the people asked ran a red light. So it's the probability of a person is chosen at random from the people asked, and they ran a red light. Which would mean that they were one of the people that said yes when asked, right? So that's the event. I want to know, the event is us choosing a person who said yes. And I want to find the probability of this event happening. And that means I have to find the total number of outcomes that in which there's all the different ways that we could pick a person who ran a red light. So how many people in this population did run a red light? Because, let's say the first person who said yes is Julie, me. And the second person is James, and the third person is, Carla. All of those people, if I choose that, Julie, then that will make me happy. I'll get my desired result. But I picked a person who happened to run a red light. Okay, so I'm going to ask ourselves how many ways could we be successful? By successful meaning how we get what we want, and that is through choosing a person who ran a red light. So there is 326 people who ran a red light. So there's 326 different ways that I could pick a person that ran a red light, right? And then the number here on bottom is the number of total outcomes that could possibly happen. So the number on top is the number of ways that E can happen. Or the number of outcomes that in which E would happen, And the bottom is the total number of things that could possibly happen. And you could think about this everybody who was asked is maybe we put their name and their response in a jar, and we put all their names in there. There's 326 that say yes and their name on it, and 492 that say no. So how many ways can I pick a yes? Well, 326, right? It says the number of people that responded yes, that is, they ran a red light, is 326. So that's the number on top. Because if we picked any one of those 326 people, then we would get our way that we would choose the person with the red light. But then the total number of outcomes, well, I could have picked anybody who they asked in this survey. And so that is actually the 326 people who said yes and the people who said no. That includes, I don't think anybody did, they don't mention here in this study anybody that didn't respond, or responded with a I don't want to tell you kind of situation. So I'm assuming that everybody's either yes or no to this answer. And so this is everybody surveyed. So these are the total number of outcomes. I could either pick one that says no or one that says yes. So we have to add those numbers together, 326 plus 492, to find the total number of outcomes. Because in reality, they could have chosen any of the 326 people who said yes, or we could have chosen any of the people who said no, which there were 492. So that's the total amount of outcomes that could possibly happen. So what's the 326 plus 492. 326 plus 492 is 818. So that's the number in the bottom here. And we can turn this into a decimal, and they want us to turn it into a decimal, and I think you could probably get away with not doing it, but let's just go ahead and turn it in for decimal, make them happy. And I think it says round 2 decimal places. So 326 divided by 818 gives us 0.34. I'm sorry, is it okay? It would have been 0.39, but the 8 is bigger than 5. 5 are bigger, so it would add 1 to the 9, which would make it 10, which would make that a 4, so it's 0.40. So that is the probability that we're going to pick a person who ran a red light, approximately 0.40. Or we don't really have to keep that last zero, but just because they said they wanted to decimal places. All right, I hope this made sense. Have a great day. Bye.